Is it a rebound relationship or is it the real thing? My name is Clay from modernlove.life, where we help you get the great, loving relationship that you want without mind games, without playing hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because I believe that you deserve to be loved for who you are. And if you believe that as well too, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel. Be sure to hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you can get notifications next time we go live or next time we upload a new video. And if you want to learn more about how to upgrade your love operating system so that you can automatically bring yourself into alignment with the loving relationship or partner that you want, please head on over to our website over at modernlove.life/class, and you can take a free little course that I put together on upgrading your love operating system. And let's go ahead and get into today's video. So we're talking about rebound relationships once again. And today we're talking about how to know if it's a rebound relationship or the real thing. And this can be something good to know whether you are in a potential rebound relationship or whether someone that you know, maybe your ex, is in a potential rebound relationship as well too. Now, it's important to know that rebound relationships are not really best measured by the time from a breakup, but really more about what the person is doing on an emotional level, because that really lets you know kind of how they're handling their emotions and if they're really bringing themselves to another relationship still backed up emotionally from the previous relationship or not. Time can sometimes be used as a good metric. Obviously, if somebody just broke up yesterday, they're probably not going to be emotionally available to the point where they can have a healthy, great, natural, organic connection with somebody else today. But that's not really the best thing to be looking at, time itself. So today we're going to be talking about 5 signs that somebody might be in a rebound relationship. The first one is if there's displacement happening. Now, by displacement, what I mean is that they are essentially trying to fast forward through the normal aspects of a long-term relationship, a healthy, committed relationship, and trying to elevate this new relationship up to about the same level that their previous relationship was at. So, maybe if the previous relationship, they were, kind of talking about, hey, are we going to get engaged? Are we going to get married? Are we going to maybe have a kid? Are we going to move in together? Whatever it might be, they might start to move the new relationship kind of up to about that same level. And, this is actually something that my big ex that I was with for 7 years did after we broke up. We were together for 7 years. Obviously, we were talking about things like possibly getting married and things like that. And then after we broke up, like within 2 weeks, she was actually engaged to another guy. So, obviously that was a rebound situation. Kind of a dramatic thing when I found out, but obviously she was not really able to bring herself to that relationship at that point in time in a completely emotionally available sort of way, because she was displacing the level of commitment that she had in the relationship with me onto this new person. I think most people would be concerned if you started dating somebody and you were engaged to get married 2 weeks later. So that's definitely an extreme example, but it's definitely something that happens. The second sign that you might be in a rebound relationship, or that somebody that you know might be in a rebound relationship, is if their new partner is either extremely similar to their ex, or their new partner is actually the exact polar opposite to their ex in some way or another. So why this? So if the person is very similar to the ex, then it means that they're probably, most likely unconsciously, trying to work through some of the issues from their previous relationship with this new person. If they were with an emotionally unavailable person and then they start dating another emotionally unavailable person, they might be trying to work through those issues of like, hey, why wouldn't you open up to me? If I can get this other person to open up to me, then it proves that the problem wasn't me, it was with you, or something like that. They're trying to maybe get validation in some way or another by trying to recreate the same situation, potentially many, many, many different times in a string of relationships, trying to work through some of those issues that didn't work in the previous relationship or relationships, plural. On the opposite side of the spectrum, when they, break up with somebody and then they go the complete opposite direction, what this typically means is that they're living in reaction to the previous relationship. They're, saying, okay, you were this way, and so I'm going to just go and date somebody who's the complete opposite. You were a nice guy, I'm going to go and date a bad boy. Or, you were completely emotionally shut down, I'm going to go and date somebody who's super emotionally available. And this is not necessarily a bad thing. It can be great to say, okay, I was with somebody who was this way or that way or a jerk in some way, and so I want to date somebody who's a nice person. It's not necessarily a bad thing as long as they're intentionally moving towards something good in the other person, as opposed to saying, is this person not my ex? Is this person the opposite of my ex? Is this person the opposite of this person over here? Because as long as they're being in a relationship with somebody based off of the past, based off of a reaction, based off of a knee-jerk reaction to something that happened in the past, then that is definitely a sign that they are still emotionally wound up and entangled in the previous relationship. And as they start to work through those emotions from the breakup, they may feel less of a need to actually be with somebody who's the polar opposite of their ex. And if that's really all that is holding the relationship together, it can quickly come apart as they realize that, there's no real compatibility here. We don't really have things in common. All the reason I'm only with you is because you're the opposite of my ex, and I've worked through the feelings with my ex, and so I'm suddenly feeling less and less of a desire to be in this relationship. That's the second sign. The third sign that a relationship could be a rebound relationship is if they are constantly comparing you or their new partner to their ex, right? So if they're constantly saying, oh, you're so much better than my ex, my ex would have always done this and you do this, that's what I really love about you, or something like that, then that is a sign that it's a rebound thing. Now, obviously, if you're getting together with somebody and they have some sort of significant relationship with somebody in the past, it might come up from time to time. Oh yeah, my ex was like this. Oh yeah, my ex used to do things that way. Or oh yeah, like you're totally different from my ex in this way or other. But as long as it's more than just like a passing comment, as long as it's like something that they keep coming back to over and over and over and over and over again, then that really shows that their thoughts and their mind are still with their ex. And a couple weeks ago we did that series on the stages of getting over a breakup. And if their thoughts are still on their ex, then it shows that they are probably in one of those middle three stages, either the overinvested stage where their thoughts are constantly of their ex, the roller coaster stage, or the validation trap stage where they're constantly saying, hey, you're so much better than my ex. My ex is going to be so jealous when they see that I'm with somebody who's awesome and they are not awesome, or something like that. And so if they're constantly comparing you to their ex, that's definitely a sign that that it's a rebound relationship. The kind of flip side of that is they're constantly complaining about their ex. They're constantly saying, oh yeah, my ex was like this awful way, or my ex used to do this thing that really irked me, or my ex never cared about me, or whatever. And as long as they're constantly complaining about their ex, it really shows that they have not really let go emotionally from that relationship in the past, and they have not really moved on from what happened with their ex. The fourth sign that it could be a rebound relationship is that this is a person who is always in a relationship. If you look back at their dating history, they were in a relationship with somebody, and then it broke up, and then immediately they went into a relationship with somebody else, and they broke up, and then immediately they went into a relationship with somebody else, and then they broke up, and then here you and them are. And if that's the case, it shows that they don't really take the appropriate time after a breakup to grieve through the process of losing a relationship. If you were in a relationship with somebody for any significant amount of time, you're naturally going to have a process of grieving as you let go of that relationship. If you were together for like a year, 2 years, even several months, definitely if it was multiple years. And so if they're the kind of person that's always in a relationship, then it points a finger that, hey, this is the kind of person that doesn't really handle their emotions and just looks to bury them into the next relationship. And like we talked about in yesterday's video, these emotions that they're trying to avoid can really kind of compound upon one another and create really gnarly emotional snowball, I guess you could say. So you want to definitely be able to look out for that. And the fifth sign that it is a rebound relationship is that they are really fast to parade you around to the people that they know. Now, obviously, if you start dating somebody, you might want to have them meet your friends or, possibly even your family, just so that they can, check out this person and say, oh, well, what do you think about this new person that I'm dating? And they're like, oh, yeah, they're a nice person. I don't know. They seem kind of this way or that way. So, obviously there's that aspect that probably would happen in a normal, healthy relationship. But this whole parading things about, it really takes into full effect on social media. I think most people, once they start a new relationship on social media, like to take things slowly. You don't want to make your relationship Facebook official until you're pretty sure that this is the kind of relationship that you want to be in, because like grandma's going to see that update, right? And grandma's probably going to be excited about possibly you getting married and starting a family and all of that stuff. And so you don't want to broadcast these things out on social media unless it's a pretty big deal. But if somebody is really quick to want to parade you out on social media, then it can really show that they are kind of stuck in that validation trap, which is one of those stages that we talked about. Again, put a link up to that over there. So these are 5 ways that you can tell that somebody's in a rebound relationship versus the real thing. Now, if it is the real thing, what's going to be happening is they're going to be being 100% present with you and not using you as a vehicle to work through their emotional issues, not using you as the rug to sweep all of their insecurities and anxieties about their ex under. They're not going to be using you as a way to get validation from other people. They're going to simply just want to create an organic, natural connection with you that feels good, that's not going to be about anything other than just you and them, okay? And that's how you can tell if it's like a real healthy relationship. And even if it is a real healthy relationship, it doesn't mean it's going to be like easy street from here on out. Obviously, non-rebound relationships have their own issues and they can go through their own ups and downs and they can have their own struggles. But this is really some things to keep in mind if you want to know if your ex or maybe you are, or maybe somebody that you know is in a rebound relationship. Anyway, once again, thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what we're doing here. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And also wanted to let you know, I did an interview with Coach Natalie from Love Advice TV earlier today, and I'm going to be posting that as soon as that is edited and uploaded. So yeah, if you're not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe so that you can get notifications when that interview goes live. And once again, if you want to upgrade your love operating system so that you can naturally bring yourself into alignment with the kind of loving relationship or partner that you are looking for, please be sure to check out our free class over at modernlove.life/class. Okay, let's get into the comments and see what people are talking about. Okay, I had a couple conversations going before we went live here. Okay, Martin says, hello. Megan says, I just got notified for this. Well, that's cool. That means you've clicked that notification bell. Yeah, glad you got the notification. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to happen last minute. From my understanding, they're supposed to give you a 30-minute warning, but maybe it doesn't always work that way. Lucy says, my ex is seeing my enemy. He has already had a rebound, and she is the girl after that. I have to go to the same school as them. They never really go on dates. They just text a lot and sleep together. Question mark. Well, not really much of a question mark, but yeah, that can be a really tough situation if your ex is dating somebody that you have a lot of bad blood with, right? It can be really difficult to see them together. And it can be really tough when you're in a situation like at school where you kind of have to be there. You can't just not talk to them or something like that. You have to be there because you're in the same classes, you pass each other in the hallway and all of that. So I'm not going to lie. It's going to be harder for you to deal with this because you're going to be constantly exposed to them. You're going to constantly see them together. You're going to constantly hear people talking about them and all of that. And so it's going to be more difficult, but you can do this. You can move past this if this is something that you're committed to. what you want to do is you want to really work on that thought process like we talked about in that series on getting over a breakup. I'll just go ahead and link to the whole playlist over here if you missed that a couple weeks ago. But you want to really do your best to go through this series of 5 stages in getting over your ex so that you can, I mean, you're probably always going to feel at least some degree of emotion when you see them together, but you'll be able to handle it a whole lot better if you're able to go from, meltdown stage up through these other stages to emotional freedom, where you can actually be free from your ex emotionally, okay? I know this can be very hard, especially when you can't do things like no contact, but this is something that you can do. You can make it through this, I promise you that. Where did we leave off? Okay, Brad says, my wife left and is not sleeping at her parents' house. She is seeing someone now. We hooked up 3 times this past month. She says it cannot be fixed, and we are done. She deleted all wedding photos. Help. Okay, yeah, so if you're trying to make things work with your wife, we have like many videos on, how to save a relationship, how to get your ex back. So definitely check those out. But if I was to just give you kind of the big picture look at all of this, it's number 1, show your wife that she is not walking back into the same relationship that she walked out of if she was to get back together with you. Nobody's going to walk back into the same relationship or the same marriage as they walked out the door of, okay? Just not going to happen unless it's something like, hey, I thought I could go out and date someone else, but it turns out I can't date anyone else, therefore I'm going to go back to you. And that's like an awful reason to get back together. But actually give them a positive reason to want to get back together with you. Number 2, make the interactions feel good. It's not enough that you are simply changing based off of whatever caused the marriage to have its problems. You actually have to make the interactions feel good so that they enjoy interacting with you, so that they enjoy wanting to spend time with you, so that she enjoys wanting to connect with you. If you can do this, then that's really going to help her actually want to have a new relationship, a new marriage with you. And then the third one, which is sometimes applicable, sometimes not applicable, is to overcome any external things that might be going on that might actually keep the two of you apart, like perhaps a rebound relationship. That would be a good example of one. Obviously, if they're going to get back together with you, they need to break up with their rebound, just, in order to obviously make things work on a logistical front. And so those are the big picture ideas about what it takes to get back together with your ex. I would recommend that you check out the playlist I made over here on the 5 stages of your ex going through emotionally to get back together, okay? It talks about the 5 emotional stages that your ex goes through on the journey of getting back together. You can check that out in the info card up in the corner. I will put that in the replay of this video, but that'll give you a little bit more of an idea about where she's at emotionally and maybe what you might need to address and work on for making that relationship work. Okay, hello, Clay. Hello. Hello, Clay. Nice to see you again. My girlfriend already broke up with me last day, I guess yesterday, and I think she got a new one. Will no contact work? Okay, yeah. When it comes to no contact, you have to think about, okay, what does it mean for no contact to work? Because there's different types of no contact. There's no contact that's trying to force your ex, the like mind game stuff where it's like get them to crawl over broken glass in order to be with you. There's no contact to like get over your ex. Will that work? Probably. There's no contact to actually decrease the emotional resistance they have towards interacting with you so that they will feel more comfortable interacting with you. That could potentially work. There's no contact for healing so that you can heal emotionally from the breakup so that you're not in what we call damage control mode when you're talking with them. Yeah, that can totally work. And then there's what I really advocate, which is called active no contact, which is you're doing no contact, and then you're spending that time period to intentionally and consciously cultivate your ability to connect deeper on an emotional level, okay? And this really makes it very clear as you come out of this no contact period that your ex is not walking back into the same relationship that they walked out of in the first place. And, as opposed to other forms of no contact, which are just kind of like, hey, I'm just going to cut contact and hope for the best. Here you're actually doing things to demonstrate to your ex that this is a completely different game. And if that's something that you want to learn more about, head over to our website, relationshipinnergame.com, and you can get on our newsletter where we talk more about things like active no contact and all of that stuff when it comes to actually saving a relationship. Okay, let's see what else folks are talking about. That's where we left off. Okay. Hey Clay, my ex actually got a restraining order on me after 7 years. What the heck is that about? I miss her, but I'm not about to be crazy either. That's great. When it comes to, the law getting involved, I always recommend people stay on the legal side of the law. Do not violate restraining orders. Do not do things that I have unfortunately heard other people do, like sneak into their ex's house to surprise them, or go through their trash, or anything like that. Respect their privacy, respect the law. Don't break the law. I wholeheartedly support you not doing anything crazy. Where do we leave off? Hi Clay, my ex got into a relationship with the girl he cheated on me with 2 weeks after we broke up. How can I contact him when he says that he doesn't want to step on her toes by talking to me? Okay, yeah, so here's the thing you have to keep in mind is there's this idea of context versus content, right? So he doesn't want to stay in contact with you right now. Is that because he genuinely doesn't want to stay in contact with you, or is it because he does, but maybe the rebound woman is a little bit insecure, a little bit jealous about him possibly being in contact with you, his ex? And, I can totally understand why, yes, this is live. Okay, somebody just asked the question, yes, this is live. Today is April 10th, I believe, 2019. Where was I going? So you have to look at what his emotional motives are. Is it because he genuinely doesn't want to be in contact with you, or is it because the rebound is twisting his arm and causing him to not be in contact with you when really he wants to be in contact with you? And if that's the case, then you have to understand that as the emotional context changes, that is to say, like as the rebound relationship starts to wear on, as the honeymoon phase, as some might call it, starts to wear off, as he cares less and less about impressing her, as he cares less and less about being on good terms with her, as he starts to settle more into himself, he might suddenly start to be more open and receptive to contacting you, okay? And so that's definitely something that you might want to consider doing. And if he does actually want to be in contact with you and you're okay with kind of stepping on the rebound's toes with and all that stuff, think about a way that would be a little bit less conspicuous, right? Like obviously if you were to send him a text message, that might show up as a notification on the lock screen of his phone, which of course the rebound might see because he's leaving his phone lying around or something like that. But if you were to just send him an email or send him a message on Facebook or something like that, then that may not show up as a notification, in which case it allows him a little bit more privacy, which means he's probably going to be a little bit more receptive to interacting with you because he has less of that risk of being found out, so to speak. Anyway, that's some things to think about if you're going to be in contact with your ex who is in a rebound. Where did we leave off? Okay, here we go. Random question, do you ever worry that your ex watches your videos? Not like you ever say anything bad, but it might be weird if she did. I mean, I don't know, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. To be honest, it doesn't matter to me if she does watch my videos or not. I have my own life that does not involve her. I'm married now. I have a daughter. I have a family. I have my own thing going on. And I'm not worried if she's going to watch these. I don't know. Maybe she does watch them. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's looked me up and seeing like, oh, hey, look at that. I think it's normal for people to sometimes have thoughts about their ex float into their mind, and I think it's normal for people to sometimes be like, oh, hey, what's that person up to? Let me just, take a peek. Not in like some sort of like, hey, I'm like obsessed with this person kind of way, but just like, oh, hey, whatever became of that person. And I think people do this normally, even with people that they were never romantically involved in, just people that were maybe from a previous chapter of their life, and maybe they're just like, oh, hey, whatever happened to that friend I used to have in high school, or whatever happened to that coworker I used to have when I worked at the one company. And so I think it's normal to do that, and I think sometimes you find interesting things about people. Sometimes you don't find a whole lot at all, but hey, whatever. If she finds out about me doing these videos, who cares? And, again, yeah, we didn't work out. I don't hold any resentment towards her. I understand why she broke up with me. I understand the mistakes that I made. I understand the mistakes that she made. I understand that we were both very young at the time and didn't really have the tools to deal with things in a healthy way. And whatever, it's totally okay. What else we got here? You look stoned. Thanks, I'm not stoned. I like clay. Thanks, I like you. My ex rebounded to an ex-boyfriend from 18 years ago. He hasn't moved on at all. They move in together this weekend, but live on the same street anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's totally possible to revisit an old relationship. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work out or that it's not going to work out. It's just, hey, what's going on here? Maybe we can explore what's possible. And, just because people move in, I mean, that could definitely be a sign of displacement if they were only together, for a short period of time. And, that's absolutely a sign of a rebound relationship. So, I wouldn't worry too much about that. It just shows where he's at emotionally. Okay, guys, so with that being said, I want to thank you all for tuning into this live stream. Once again, I will let you know once that Love Advice TV interview with Coach Natalie is finished, and I'll go ahead and upload that on this channel and let all you guys know through a notification. And yeah, if you like what we're doing, please give me a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. And also, check out our free course